This is it, my very last assignment of my master's in curriculum and instruction. Looking back, my very first master's class was an EdTech course, which included creating a WordPress blog, so it seemed fitting to end my master's journey dusting off my original blog with another EdTech course. Welcome to my Summary of Learning, EC&I 830, Contemporary Issues in Educational Technology. While I was a bit apprehensive about debating topics in front of such a large class, I found the debates a great way to think about topics from a variety of perspectives. I also enjoyed reading the blogs and seeing how students heard the same debate, but it resonated with everyone differently. I tried to keep an open mind heading into the debates, and on many occasions there were points that I hadn't considered, and at times it was enough to change my vote and perspective. While I don't want to spend my time summarizing the debates, I do want to touch on some of the key takeaways from the debates, many of which challenged my thinking. Kudos to all of the debate presenters. They were all incredibly well done. Debate number 1, technology in the classroom enhances learning. Both the agree and disagree team made some great points, but my takeaway from the debate came from the debate discussions. Using technology just to use technology doesn't mean it will enhance learning. Teachers need to be purposeful about the technology they use. The SAMR model was discussed in many debate blogs and is a useful way to consider purpose for classroom teachers. Balance was also key for me in the debate, and honestly in many of the debates. There is a place in education for technology, but hands-on learning, physical activity, exploring and collaborating with peers are also important. It's important for educators and students to find a balance when it comes to technology and screen time. Debate number 2, technology has led to a more equitable society. This was our debate and a hard one to argue. The pandemic certainly shone a light on the digital divide. The digital divide is real, and the consequences of being on the wrong side of the digital divide are disproportionately felt by marginalized groups. We know access to technology and internet access is not universal, but how do we improve this access and bridge the gap? I still feel a bit lost on what society and individuals need to do. This is an area I have more learning to do. Debate number 3, schools should no longer teach skills that can easily be completed with technology, was a heated debate. While there's merit to John Dewey's quote, "If we teach today's students as we taught yesterday's, we rob them of tomorrow," I'm not quite ready to scrap the basics. Back to balance for me. I think the basics are important to scaffold learning, but I also think there are times to lean into technology. I was taught spelling throughout my elementary schooling, but that doesn't mean I'm going to hand in a grad paper without spell check. We know students are heading into a future that includes technology, and we would be doing them a disservice not to teach them the digital literacy skills to use it. Debate number 4 really challenged me and made me question my role in social activism. It was also a timely debate as we entered Pride Week. Education is not neutral. Participating in social activism is, first and foremost, the right thing to do. But not all educators are comfortable using social media as a means to promote social activism, and I think we have to respect this. There are many ways to promote social activism. That being said, if we don't feel comfortable using social media to promote it, it doesn't mean we can't teach our students the power that social media does have for social justice issues. Thanks, Arkin, for helping me see this. The school I currently work at has a very diverse population of students and has generally kept communication about Pride pretty low-key. This year we posted about Pride on our outdoor sign, in our EdSpeak communication, and on our social media platforms. We had many families come in, and while some conversations were uncomfortable, there was also a lot of good discussion with members of our community. These conversations are how we learn and grow. Debate number 5 is social media ruining childhood, and debate number 6, cell phones should be banned in schools, had a lot of overlapping themes. I think the biggest takeaway is that if educators are going to allow students to use social media or cell phones in the classroom, they need to teach students how to use them. I really appreciated Jen's swimming social media analogy. We don't throw students in the pool and expect they can swim. It takes a lot of supervised practice before children are ready to swim on their own. Just like swimming, students need to learn how to use social media. They need guidance and supervision. Cell phones and social media aren't going anywhere. Teaching students digital citizenship has never been so important. Debate number 7, educators in schools have a responsibility to help their students develop a digital footprint. Well, it makes sense. I hadn't considered how many students are coming to school already having a digital footprint. While I don't think schools are solely responsible for teaching students about their digital footprint, I do think they play a role in helping students become aware and how it can impact them. The digital world is the real world. The last debate 8, online education is detrimental to the social and academic development of children, was a tough one. For myself, and I think many of my classmates, it was hard to separate online education and our recent pandemic teaching experience. Personally, I think there's a place for online education and in-person learning. Neither are perfect, neither are the best fit for all students. It's important to remember that online education is more than sitting in front of a computer 6 hours a day. A few final thoughts. Regardless of the debate topics, a few key points were discussed over and over. Our students are living in a digital world, and our curriculum in schools and for our future teachers hasn't kept up. Hopefully in the near future, we will see our curriculum include mandatory outcomes related to digital citizenship and digital footprint, and become more in line with the digital world our children are growing up in. Hopefully this also carries over to mandatory EdTech classes for our future teachers. As I wrap up, I want to thank Katia and my fellow grad students for your insight and knowledge. I appreciated your blogs, comments, and discussions.